Hello, I'm Ben, and I'm building Brandon, Manitoba at a 1-to-1 scale in Minecraft. For this video, I will give you an introduction to this channel, and then I'll have a tour of the progress that I've made so far in building this city. I have long been interested in cities and architecture, and I like to use Minecraft as a medium to create places. I have been building cities in Minecraft for several years, but I have never stuck to one project for as long as I would like. I think this is because I often switch between worlds, so making progress in any one world is sometimes slow and unsatisfying. Eventually, sometimes leading into me losing interest in that world. I hope I can break this loop by working primarily on just one of my favorite projects for a longer time and sharing the progress to more people like you who might find this interesting. If you found this video from my account on Instagram, ben.minecraft.builds, you might have seen the updates I've posted occasionally for some time, and I'll continue to do that. If you come across this randomly on your feed and you have Instagram, consider checking my page out. Again, that's ben.minecraft.builds. I decided to start this YouTube channel as a way to document and share the progress of this project in more detail. This is my first time sharing this on YouTube, so any suggestions and creative, constructive feedback would be very much appreciated. Everything that you are seeing right now is hand-built in vanilla Minecraft in creative mode. I aim to build everything to be accurate to 1 meter, where 1 meter is equivalent to 1 block in the game. So you might ask, how do I know how big to make something? I know the dimensions of a Brandon City block as well as the width of each street from a book I found about historic Brandon homes. I use the Google Earth measuring tool to determine building footprints and heights and elevation are generally eyeballed from Google Street View, and all the other details are mainly from Google Street View. I will be mentioning probably many local and chain businesses, but this is clearly not. I'm clearly not like sponsoring them or anything. I started this project right here at this intersection. This is Rosser Avenue and 10th Street. And I decided to start here because this is historically the intersection where all the commercial growth in Brandon started from. So let's get on with the tour. So yeah, starting with this little brick building here. This is the Guinness Tavern by the Double Decker. It used to be taken up by just this one brick building. Now it takes up the neighboring building as well, and the upper floors are now converted to residential. I will probably come back to this someday and update the appearance, because this is based off of what it was kind of mid-renovations, so there's kind of some blank walls. Next door, we have the Royal Fork, a pretty good Indian restaurant. And then we got, more shops, a barber shop, and This is an accounting place, I think, or consulting engineers. Around this corner, we have a building that I didn't realize until after the fact that this doesn't exist anymore. So I'll have to remove that building, and then this is the Mackenzie Seeds building, one of the most iconic buildings on the skyline. I used banners to make the letters. We got, so yeah, one of the biggest buildings so far as well. Over here we have the city center hotel and bar. On the side of this building, you can see that there is some old murals, some old like advertisements, and this is Chez Angela, the building that Chez Angela is running in. Down at the end of the road here is Westman Immigrant Services, which is, and this building originally holded Brandon's train station, and as you can see out back is where the train line is. Yeah. Anyways, back to here we have across the street we also have a beer store, just kind of a ordinary building, and kind of an old warehouse. Back over here we have Scotia Towers, which is considered to be the tallest building in Brandon, at least in terms of usable floor area. We got the Fraser building. I like how this one came out. In real life, this is actually asymmetrical, but the slight asymmetricalness of it in real life is very slight. So, and honestly, it looks better symmetrical. Anyways, we got a few more of these like colorful buildings, and then here is the Brandon Chamber of Commerce, built in like a Beaux-Arts style. Back here there's just a bunch of power lines and parking lots. And some custom trees, of course, everywhere. Back over here we have the old Bank of Montreal building. And then we have the Yukon block, which is where there is a pizza and chicken place on the bottom floor. We got the La Plante block, which is probably one of the oldest buildings in the city. It's from 1892. Brandon, for reference, was established in 1882, so this building is only built 10 years after Brandon's establishment. So, and it's home to the Monocle Opticians. We got more rows of shops. We got, yeah, like a photography studio. We got, and some restaurants, and yeah. We had more custom trees, which took a long time to do. Here we got some beauty salons. This is, oh, I forgot to put the sign on this, but this is Oak and Ivy Salon. And then this is Rose's Boutique. And then over here is Step in Time Dance Studio. And then fly across here, you can see that there is quite a lot of empty space in this area. There used to be buildings here, but some of them have now been demolished, like under disrepair. So over time, this has kind of opened up. Over here, this corner build, we got another corner building. This is Samson Engineering on the corner of 10th and Princess we're at now. Down here we have this building, which is home to BDO, Insurance and Accounting. This is probably one of my favorite buildings in terms of how it looks. Although I'm proud of how I was able to fit like so many arched windows in such a small space in this building too. On the bottom floor we have I Want That Stuff and a Shalom store. We got One and Only Design Studio, which is like a design studio and a coffee place as well. We got Brandon School of Dance. A couple more like beauty salons and stuff. Got Pirouette over here, and Soul over here, and then another brick building with some accounting firms. And then this is the Bank of Montreal, the more modern building for it, across the street from the old one. And then we have, I think this is Westman Credit Union, another, or yeah, some other bank, anyways. So that is Crocus Credit Union, that's what it's called. So that is how far I've gone on with that. I've also tried to put as much detail as possible into these, even in the alleyways. With power lines and all sorts of stuff. And yeah, so from above, this takes up, I have almost finished 4 city blocks, really 3.5 city blocks, and this is what I have left to do. This big building here is what I want to work on in the next episode, what will be like the first real episode of building Brandon. And with this big building and the parking lot behind it, that will finish off this city block and finish that kind of 4x4 or that 2x2 city block area. And then I want to move east and do some more stuff over there. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. like if you enjoyed this, and subscribe if you want to see more of this, of how I go about building the city of Brandon in Minecraft. Yeah, and there will never be a perfect time to start the one thing that you always wanted to do. Just do it and see where it takes you. Have a good rest of your day or evening or whenever you are watching this, and goodbye.